Hello everyone, thanks for tuning into today's second video. We're going to have a look at the weather for the 10 to 14 days for today's second video. So day 10 takes us to the 30th of June and we'll be able to extend out beyond that with GFS and ECM ensembles. They run to around a couple of weeks. Have a look at CFS V2 at the end of the video for the next 4 weeks. Gets us into the second half of July. I'll get on that for you in a moment. Just say that first. Video sales, our 6-7 UK weather forecast. Please like, share and subscribe on both of today's vids. Thanks so much everyone for doing that. No JMA Friday this week. Right, we're going to start off with the latest wind flow map from earthnullschool.net, showing that we've got low pressure encroaching from the southwest as high pressure is beginning to weaken over to the east country. This low will eventually start to introduce something cooler and a little bit fresher through the weekend. There might be some downpours involved in the transition as well. Central England temperature is now sitting at 15.2, that's 1.1 degree above the 61 to 1990 average, and that is provisional to the 18th of June. These are GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles. So next couple of weeks, we're at London today. The red line is the 30-year upper air temperature actual London, starting off significantly above average, hot with the upper air temperatures at the moment. We're going to see a bit of a plummet with those upper air temperatures by the beginning of next week, turning a bit cooler then. And then generally above average. There is a possibility that we might see the upper air temperatures taking off again into the last days of the month or so. Looking generally warmer than average, I think, for the next couple of weeks. Precipitation-wise, a lot of dry weather to come over next week. Not completely dry. There will be some showery bursts in London, but a lot of dry weather, perhaps a bit more unsettled into the start of July. Temperature anomalies, next 5 days up to the 25th of June, going to be above average, and the 6 to 10 day also coming out above average. 8 to 12 day is above average, and the 10 to 14 day, well, that reverts closer to normal in the north and the west, perhaps a bit cooler for Western Scotland, Northern Ireland, still a little bit above average in the east and the southeast. So precipitation anomalies the next 7 days, the 27th of June. Bit wet average for northwest of Scotland, drier than average bay for England and Wales. 8 to 14 day. Again shows a northwest southeast split. Western Scotland, Northern Ireland a bit wetter than normal. Much of England and Wales dry. Right, let's start going through chart data then. This is our latest UK Met Euro run. Is looking for midnight on Monday. Low pressure in off the Atlantic, bringing showery rain through next week, where we've got a cooler westerly wind and a lot of dry weather down in the south with this ridge. Up in the north looks a bit more showery. That gets through to the end of next week. Again, the same basic setup continues. High pressure south, low pressure north. That brings the driest weather into south. The north and northwest could be a bit more unsettled. Icon looking much of a muchness through the middle part next week, rather wet and windy for Scotland. Probably mostly dry down in the south, but pressure is a bit weaker down in the south, so even there could be some showery bursts. We get through to the end of next week, drawing up a southwesterly wind, so that brings a lot of very warm weather, probably mostly dry down to south and southeast. Will be more unsettled though up in the north. Then we got the KMA, rather flat and westerly through the early part of next week. Low pressure into the north and the northwest, bringing outbreaks of rain. And it was quite unsettled, I have to say, by the last weekend of June. So high pressure trying to build up from the southwest, but low pressure was pretty deep actually to the north of Scotland. Though we eventually finish up with KMA by the beginning of July, going back under higher pressure again. GFS midnight run, so that one not as unsettled for next week, and building up the Azores high as it does consistently keep trying to do. So by the weekend of the 29th of June, which is of course Glastonbury weekend, high pressure is building strongly from the southwest. That ridge develops into an area of high pressure, and it turns very warm or hot into the closing days or the final days of June once again, but generating a thundery low again. So around days 10 and 11, looking very warm, hot, plus 20 cells iceberg just off southeast corner, but also potentially thundery. And then we're back again into those cooler west or northwesterly winds, and so the pattern goes on up to the 6th of July there. Well, what about the GFS 6 then? Again, that rather flat and westerly through next week. Dry to the south, most unsettled in the north. If this comes off, I don't think Glastonbury has too much to worry about. Perhaps a few showers, but a lot of dry weather and pretty warm. Remember, the UK Met Icon are a lot more unsettled than this shows, though. So still uncertainty for later next week. Just when we don't want the uncertainty, we've got it. Anyway, we get today's 8, 9, 10. High pressure building to our south and east with GFS 6 as well. It's looking very warm, hot, mostly dry also. Beyond that, well, we go flat westerly again with low pressure coming in off it. And it's quite unsettled there with the GFS 6M as we go into the last sort of, into the first week of July. We get to the 6th of July, heights are rising again. Southwest mostly dry and warm. Then, if you're enjoying the video, please like, share and subscribe. Show everyone board dear Matt. Drop a comment. Let us know what you think about this sound of our videos and content. And don't forget to tell friends about GavsWeatherVids and get them to subscribe too. Thank you so much everyone for doing that. We've hit 20.3k. Can you believe it? 20,300 subscribers. Thank you so much everyone for getting us to 20.3k. GM, again with low pressure in off the Atlantic for the north anyway, through the beginning of next week. Down to the south, high pressure builds. And so that brings a lot of dry weather to the south through the course of next week. Mostly warm as well. More unsettled up in the north. So north-south split really up to day 10 there with the GM. And then the ECM rounds it all off. That one, again, brings probably quite a bit of dry weather to the south, more unsettled up in the north next week. And then we're into those westerly winds up towards days 8, 9 and 10. Again, a lot of dry weather in the south, more unsettled up in the north. Eventually, the ECM turns unsettled and cooler for all of us as lower pressure starts moving in for the first week of July. North-south split there next week. This is a precipitation forecast based on that ECM run from TVEtcher.com. So some showers, maybe some thunderstorms to come as we transition from this hot, humid weather, something a little bit cooler by the beginning of next week. But next week looking rather showery. Even in the south, through the middle part of next week, we have got some showery bursts coming and going there. Most of the rainbow in central, northern and western regions, and that's how looking to get to day 10, mostly dry. These are the options on the table within the ECM ensemble stage board day 10. The Icelandic Met Office gets us to the 30th of June. 27 members of the ECM ensembles with high pressure ridging up from the south, from southwest, low pressure out to the northwest, jet streams up here somewhere. So a lot of dry weather down in the south, more showery up in the north. And then 24, well, maybe bring more unsettled conditions even into southern areas. Looks like we've got a north-south split there up to day 10. Where we're going. So in 2 weeks' time, this is the option that we've got, and it will get us to the 5th of July. 51 out of 51 members of each ensemble, all of them with low pressure right over top of the country. Winds in from the northwest, looking rather cool and showery then. And CFS V2 finally beats a 500 millibar height. Anomalies are breaking down into week periods. The first week period takes from the 20th, 26th of June. The next week we'll have high pressure building up from south, bringing a lot of dry and warm weather with it. Week 2 will be the 27th of June to the 3rd of July. Low pressure to the north and to the northwest. High pressure to the south and southwest. Mostly dry and warm in the southwest. More unsettled and cooler up in the north. Week 3 will be the 4th to the 10th of July. North-south split goes on. High pressure south, low pressure to the north. Winds in from the west and into week 4. Well, another change then back to summer. This is the 11th, 17th of July. High pressure's back in strongly over coach. That returns us to mostly dry, potentially hot weather. We'll see. Right, we're done. If you enjoyed the video, please like, share and subscribe. Thanks so much everyone for tuning out. Drop a comment, let us know what you think about this and all of our videos and content. Don't forget to tell friends about GavsWeatherVids and get them to subscribe too. Thanks so much everyone for doing that. So tomorrow we got our 6 AM UK weather forecast, 10 to 14 day and the latest installment of the Glasso countdown. I'll see you with more tomorrow. For this one, that's all for now, and thanks for watching.